abstraction. So here is the place interviewer will get a lot of chance to ask many questions. So the topic is abstraction. So when I say abstraction, how we can achieve this abstraction and what are the different ways to achieve this and what is abstraction? That's what we are going to discuss. The first
Okay.
interview question is what is abstraction and how to achieve the abstraction, on which case, which approach we have to follow. So that's what we are going to discuss now.
Okay.
Abstraction is something which will hide the implementation. When you wanted to hide the implementation, so we'll go with the abstraction. The first thing is implementation, we wanted to hide it. The client requires hiding the implementation, and we wanted to make sure our application is loosely coupled. We will go with the abstraction. This can be achieved in two different ways. Achieve in two different ways. One approach is by using the interface, and second approach that we have is by using the abstract class.
Abstract class, yes.
So these are the two different approaches we have. But my confusion is when to go for interface and when to go for abstract class. Okay, so that is the core question they will ask. If there is an interface, then why we have the abstract class? Right. Now, here I wanted to tell you one thing. Assume there is an application. Application having the 10 features. Okay. 10 features are like mostly they are not changing the feature name or feature implementation. What happens is there is two or one feature that naming convention they are keep on changing, or the feature they are keep on changing. Now what happens is client want me to achieve the abstraction. Client want me to achieve the abstraction. At the same time, there are some modifications in the future. You're getting my point. So there
Yeah.
are some modifications in the features. Now, if I go with the interface, what will happen? So the class will implement the interface. The class will implement the interface. The moment the class implementing the interface, the moment class implementing the interface, all the irrespective of one modification, one feature, how many classes are implementing the same interface, everybody will get impact. Am I right?
Okay. Yeah.
So now, assume there is a class implementing the interface, the last feature or name or they are modifying, the feature something they are modifying. Now, if my project having 10 classes, 10 classes is implementing this interface, by default, when a class implements the interface, it has to be have the implemented method which is present in the interface. Obviously, you have to touch that code and you have to modify it. Now, same requirement, I wanted to achieve the abstraction and I wanted to do the modification in one or two features. Now I am going with the abstract class. So what I'm doing with abstract class is, so I am declaring abstract methods.
Okay.
I'm declaring abstract methods. So what is happening is 10 methods I'm declaring as abstract methods. Now the class which is extends this abstract class will have all the implementation by default for sure. Apart from that, the method which one is keep on changing, right? I
Yeah.
will mark this as a non-abstract method and I will have the implementation present in the abstract class. So that what will happen is When client wants me to achieve the abstraction and they want me to do the manipulation in the one function, so I can do the manipulation in only one place. The place is abstract class where I will have the non-abstract method. I can do the modification there. I no
Okay.
need to touch any code base apart from this specific manipulation or implementation. You're clear?
Yeah, yeah. So partial and full abstraction. One.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
when we wanted to give the real time, why it will be the good fit.
Mm,
The user requirement or client requirement
mhm,
wants them want us to do the abstraction achievement. At the
mm.
same time, they are giving frequent manipulation or modifications. Then
Okay.
the abstract class is good fit.
Right.
So
Yeah, got it.
interview questions in this area is the first
Mm.
interview question. Can we have the main method in interface and abstract class? The first one.
Main method? No.
We can have the main method. It will not give any compile time error,
Mm,
but we cannot run any content from this main method.
okay.
Very, very important question. We can have the main method in interface. You can write it in abstract class also. You can write it. You can have the main method, but
Mm.
it will not allow you to create any object and you cannot execute
Oh,
any
yeah.
content from this main method.
Yeah, that is right. So
It
we
will
cannot,
not give any runtime error. It will not give any compile time error, but execution will not happen.
because we cannot create the object, right, of
Yes,
interface and both.
exactly.
Both.
Not
Yeah.
happens.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That is the reason why.
And the second thing, why we cannot create the object for the abstract class and interface? What is the reason Java or JVM is not supporting object creation for interface and abstract class? Why object creation is not happening? The reason why
Mm.
interface standards JVM is setting all abstract method. We does not have the method body.
Does not have the method body.
Okay, method body we don't have for abstract methods. It is present in the abstract class and this one. If
Okay, yeah.
that is not having the method body, if I wanted to perform simple addition operation, I will write the addition method. That's it. I will not have any method body.
Mm.
But if I writing this one, will it make any sense? The reason because if you are not having the implementation this for this method, if I create the object for interface, object equals new or interface, then when I call this addition method, I will not have the any implementation. This code will
Mm.
be dead code.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so nothing will execute, nothing. There will be no use of writing this dead code.
Mm.
Now, what they said is initially, if you have this method, I am not allowing to create object because they don't have the method body. If I allow them to create object when they are calling whatever content they are writing, simply we are utilizing the memory, but we are not having any code to be executed. Only that code will be the dead code in the abstract class and interface. This remains same.
Mm.
That's why what we are saying is when a class implements an interface, we will have the implementation. What you can do is you can use this interface object equals to new that class reference that you can create it and you
Mm.
can call that new subclass and you can call that. So here you will have the implementation by using this object reference. You can call the implementation that was present in the specific class. So that is the reason it is not allowing. The reason why the code will be dead code because that method is does not having the method body, and we are when we call by using that object reference, nothing will be execute. Object reference always null. There will be no point of creating the object for the interface and abstract class. Now
So,
the second
so
point,
yeah, one question. So for abstract class, sometimes there is the implementation on some method, right?
I will come to that point tomorrow. So
Okay.
what will happen if abstract class is having the main method? At the same time, we will have the implementation. At the same time, we will have the normal abstract methods. Here, you will have only some methods, implemented methods will be present.
Mm,
But the thing is, when we are going the abstract method, abstract class is very rare case that we have already mentioned.
mm,
Client want us to do the abstraction with very minimal change. One or two functions are getting modified.
mm.
What it means here, actually, we are having the implementation, but what we are not directly calling this content which is present in the abstract class. Whatever the class that is extended only will help you to call the implementation which is present.
You mean implemented
The
class?
class, yes, the class which is extends the abstract class,
Right. Extends. Okay.
which will call the method, implemented method which is present there. Based upon the requirement, whether I wanted to call or not, I will decide it. But
Oh,
my
yeah.
primary concern is to achieve the abstraction. Obviously, I will have the abstract method.
Mm,
Implementation method, I no need to call it from the only abstract method. I have the another class for sure that is extending this class. I can do the implementation there, override it, and I can call it also if I want. So here
oh,
also I have an option to call it. So this code will be not dead code because the class which is extended, when you create
mm,
object for this class, so this class will suggest you to have the implemented method which is present in the abstract class.
okay, okay, yeah,
So this
got it.
code will not be the dead code. Okay.
Yeah.
So some cases, what will happen is one class needs the overriding. For example, user login method is present in the abstract class, implementation also present. But some
Mm,
other class, SSO class is there. That
mm,
implementation I don't want. I can override the same login user. I can do the some different implementation also.
mm,
So this is the reason. And the second important question we have is, can an interface extends the another interface? Yes, we can.
yeah, extend. Yes.
Interface. Here you will not use the implements keyword actually. When interface to interface, it should be extends keyword for
Ex-
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, interface
Yeah.
to interface. Why
Extend.
Java is allowing extends interface to interface?
Mm,
Because interface is not having any implementation. And what is the use of having this interface implement extends means, why we are using it is, this is the base interface. Okay, so
mm,
this is the base interface. Assume this is the base interface and that is the child interface or sub interface.
yeah.
So the intention of having interface extends the interface is, some class for sure will implements the sub interface, right?
Yeah.
Now what will happen in this class, if you see, assume I have one so now I'm creating two interfaces, A interface and B interface, and interface B, and the new class C. Okay, so now assume I have one method here. B interface having a method called public void add. Okay, now this C class is implements that interface
B.
B. It will give me compile time error saying that boss there is a method which you have to add it. You can do the override and we can do that, and you can have the implementation present here.
Mm.
See, now what will happen is, now it is working fine as per the standards, as per the simple statement in the Java. If a class implements the interface, you have to have the implementation for the methods which is present in the interface, very clear cut statement. But
Right.
now what will happen is, I will add the another method here. This is multiplication.
Mm.
Actually, this is the interview question they asked me actually. See,
Mm.
I have, see, as per the simple statement actually, this B is extending.
Extends A.
Now I should have the implementation present in this class, but interface I cannot have the implementation, right?
Right.
See, actually this C class only need to implement the B because it is implementing only one interface. But what is happening here is, here multi-level inheritance is applied.
Mm.
Multi-level inheritance is applied, and
Mm.
when C class is implementing B interface, it is
Mm.
mandatory to have the all methods, parent interface and child interface.
Right.
All methods need to be implemented. Okay,
Mm.
so that is very clear. You're clear, right?
Yeah, yeah, clear. Mm.
When you are implementing an interface, if that interface internally having some one which you have to add it. And
Add
the
it.
second thing is very important question. If an abstract class extends, sorry, if an abstract class implements the interface, can I have the implementation for the interface method? Yes, we can have the implementation. Let me write. If
Okay.
an abstract class implements
Interface.
interface, here your choice actually. You can have the implementation. Can we have the implementation? Yes, we can.
Y-
If you don't want it implement also, it will be fine. But the class which is extending that abstract class has to be do that. So here also I will show the scenario. So we
Okay.
can have the implementation. We can have the implementation, and if you want to skip, then if we want. Okay. So now what I'm doing is let me have the abstract class present. New class, and I can select abstract and demo and finish. Now this is implementing the A. See here it is not mandatory to have the implementation, but if
Right.
I do the implementation, it will accept.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I wanted to have the implementation, assume there is a normal class which is extending this one. Okay, extending this demo
Yeah.
the class. Here you can see it is not giving any error. What if I don't have this implementation? You're getting my point? If
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't have this implementation, for sure it will give the compile time error.
Yeah.
You got it? Here
Yes.
is one another case. We can have the override the specific implementation. If you wanted to override that multiplication also, you can do the override. You're getting?
Okay. Yeah.
So here, these are the key things actually. They will give this kind of programming and they will ask the output actually what will happen.
Mm.
Okay, so okay, if we want the implementation, that's fine. The next scenario is, can an abstract class extends the abstract class? Abstract class, let me create a new abstract class. Test one is extends.
Demo.
So an abstract class can extend the abstract class. At the same time, multiple inheritance here also will not be supported. Even for abstract class, multiple inheritance will not supported. People might think that what happens earlier, JVM will get confused when we call the specific methods. That's what we said when we have the multiple inheritance. Here we don't have implementation, why JVM will not confuse. Even though we will have the same methods that will present, we don't
Mm.
have the qualifier concept here, which implementation has to be called and which method has to be executed. So that's where here also abstract class also cannot extend the multiple classes.
Multiple.
Okay,
Yeah.
is clear?
Yeah.
The
So
next
this is
one, yeah,
the reason is multiple inheritance, right?
yes,
One of,
yes. The
yeah.
reason is multiple inheritance.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have this demo first,
Mm.
this is also one of the interview question. Can abstract class extends the normal class? Yes, exactly. We can do that. We can extend the normal class in abstract class.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one is, so the core benefit of interface. Apart from this abstraction, what will be the core benefit of interface? Okay. So whatever you're adding, that is morely into abstraction. What
Yeah.
if you wanted to use this interface, is there any other specific reason rather than achieve the abstraction? Yes, we have. I will tell you. Assume I have a class. This class want me to have the implementation of one specific class. For example, I have the class demo. Demo few demo wants to Demo wants to extending the features of first class. This class name is first. These features I wanted to, okay, assume demo class wanted to extend the first class. At the
Mm.
same time, this demo class wanted to be a thread class.
Mm.
Okay, the
Yeah.
scenario is a class wanted to extend the features of another class, and I wanted to be a thread class at the same time. So if I wanted to convert this demo class into the thread class, what I have to do is demo class should extend the thread. Okay.
Okay.
And another class first. Again, thread also one class. And first also one class. Java will not support the multiple inheritance. Whatever I am trying to achieve, that will not possible at all. But how I can sort it out this problem? I will do, I will extend the first class and implement the runnable.
Okay.
Now what happens is this demo, by implementing the runnable interface converted as the thread class, at the same time it can be using the features which is present in the first class.
First
There
class.
is a
Yeah.
lots of scenarios they have used
Mm.
the same one for statements and prepare statement, callable statements, rows,
Mm.
result set, row set. Many interfaces are
Mm.
there doing the same job to achieve the two features at the same time. If that is a classes, they could have not done this. But here we have this feature interfaces they have implemented. Because
Mm.
of that, we are inheriting the two features at the same time. We are marking this demo class is that class the best or core feature of interface. Apart from the abstraction, this will be the another core feature why we are using the interface. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Right.
best example and demo will be this one. Assume my class wants to be a thread class and at the same time it wants to inherit the another class. Since
Yeah.
Java does not supporting the multiple inheritance, we cannot do that. We can sort
Right.
it out that problem by extending the specific class and implementing the runnable interface. There is many things, callable
Mm.
statements and prepare statement, many things are doing the same.
Right.
Okay, so what else I have missed in this one abstract class interface.
Yeah. I think your battery is also down.
Oh, yeah. So far, these are the questions, and only for executing codes, right? The code snippet and outputs. I will
Mm.
prepare some snippets and I will share with you outputs, and I
Okay.
will explain that code. Okay, later
Okay.
if I have anything.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
The next one we will have this encapsulation.
Encapsulation. Yeah.
So encapsulation basically will help you to hold or wrap all the information into single entity. Okay,
Mm.
wrapping the data into single entity is nothing but encapsulation.
Mm.
What will be the benefit of encapsulation? Can you give me some real-time example which you are using every time? They will ask the
Mm.
simple example and best example for to not confuse them.
Mm.
Object creation. Class object name equals to new class. It will holds the reference of the class. When you try to add object dot, then it will help you to access all the variables and the methods, all the constructions that was present in the class. Reason because this is one of the object. Okay,
Mm.
internally actually we have the super and this keyword that we can have it in the model class. However,
Mm.
the process is happening when you writing also the same way. When you create the object for a class, it is storing all the lines of code that you have written, methods and all,
Mm.
that will be stored into the heap memory. When you
Mm.
call object dot add method, it will call the implementation. How it is calling? Because this object having the all the information piece of code that
Mm.
you're writing, you are not writing the add method implementation inside the main method. You are just creating the object, but this
Mm.
object holds the add method complete implementation. When you call the add method, the implementation will be called.
Mm.
Not only this one, it is an example, and if you take the another example, result set. When you do the JDBC query, you are
Mm.
writing statement, right? So statement dot execute and you are writing the plain SQL query and it will
Mm.
return the result set. list of results that it will return actually. So
Yeah.
whatever the data that is present in the table, complete table data will be holded by the that specific result set object, wrapping all the table entity into a single unit. Best example for encapsulation.
Mm.
And whenever you are writing the Hibernate, you are writing the entity class at the rate of table and setters and generating setters that you are writing. When you
Mm.
do any operations, right? Session dot save, you are passing one object. That means entire row data that you are passing as a single entity that will be inserted into the complete row. When you do
Mm.
the fetch find by in the JP repository or find all, that will give you the object. That is also best example for the encapsulation. You're
Okay.
clear? So
Yeah.
wrapping or getting all the data, storing all the data into the single unit is called the encapsulation. How you are
Okay.
achieving, where you are achieving. The best example you can say JDBC, Hibernate 1 and JPA 1 and
Mm.
creating the object. Or else you can create a simple model class, generate the getters and setters for that model class and set the values by using the set method, and you can retrieve the values by using the get method actually.
Mm.
That will be also the best example for showcasing this specific scenario, right? Encapsulation scenario.
Yeah. So we create that two string also, right? In the model class.
Yeah, two string method will help you to convert completely. The thing is we are grouping id and integer names and values in the single entity. In constructor you are passing all the values and you are creating, that is also the same thing. And in model class you are creating the object, some other class
Mm.
main method you have, whatever model class that you have created, model class object equals to new model class, and set
Mm.
values you are doing. After
Mm.
setting, this object will have all the values, and you try to access by using the get method. Whatever you are setting, everything will be holded by the simple object.
Mm.
So this
Uh,
will be the best example for encapsulations.
okay.
You're clear, right? Oops,
Yeah.
principles. These are the questions, and
Mm.
there will be many coding questions. I will prepare the coding questions today.
Okay.
Minimum 20 to 30 coding questions. The Greek for Greeks and the lead code. I will see some complex interview questions, the practical questions, and I
Okay.
will explain you the code how that will be executed and what will be the output for that codes actually.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Okay, so you can practice this so far so that tomorrow we can cover those areas.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, thanks, Prakash.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. So you are you going to join?